Vinny Alonso here with the Weasel Talk Show, and I have two guests with me, Mr. Tommy Sanchez and his lawyer. We're going to get a couple statements as well as a couple of questions answered today. So stand by, folks. We're getting more on this story straight to you. Now, Mr. Tommy, I noticed you walked in here and you had a cane. How are you feeling today?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Alonso. I'm not feeling the greatest. The physical pains I can work through, but really what I'd like to speak on is the mental anguish I've been going through. Every time I see a police cruiser or a police officer, I find myself, shying away from them, where they should be there, to serve the public. And I found myself with some PTSD from this situation. I'm scared to ask for help if I ever need it, Mr. Alonso. So really, in conclusion, it's just the mental anguish, that's gonna last with me. You can't put a Band-Aid on that, Mr. Alonso.
No, I completely understand. I can't imagine what you're going through, Mr. Sanchez. It is unbelievable. Now, to my understanding, with this whole situation going on, it is unlawful detainment as well as police brutality. Could you give us a little more on what happened in the situation concerning the police brutality?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just, invoking my First Amendment right. I was taking photos in public on public property of a scene, of I wouldn't say a scene, of something that I deemed needed to be recorded, because I seen an individual getting, assaulted by a FIB agent. So I was doing my public duty, I would say, to record that. And the agent did not like that at all. They took my camera from me. They took my phone. They put me in cuffs. They tackled me.
Let me stop you right there. So you actively seen this agent hurting somebody else?
Yes, sir.
I wonder who this individual is. Interesting. Now, you say that you were on public? Were you on the sidewalk, sir?
Yes, sir. I was on the sidewalk.
And who was this FBI agent for the people who maybe haven't been following along?
The FIB agent is not only it's Miss Amber Flimla.
Miss Amber Flimla, folks. Do you hear that? Amber Flimla. Continue, sir.
No, that's really the big thing, that I wanted to touch on, because I could understand, police corruption at the base level if it's like a police officer, but this is very high in the department. The FIB is very high in the defense system. How could somebody that's been, that's this corrupt, that thinks that's okay, can get this high and not go noticed? And that just makes me worry about how else the department is ran, how else things are going down, who else has been victim of this.
100% correct, sir.
Yeah, and who else has been victim of this corruption, that hasn't spoken up about it, and it's really frightening to me, Mr. Alonso. Not only for me, but for the public, my friends, my family.
Well, we are here to get down to the bottom of this story, Mr. Sanchez. We're here for the people. This is a private journalism. We are not financed by any government entity. I notice you have brought your lawyer here today. Any statements your lawyer would like to give to the people?
Well, we just want justice for not only Mr. Sanchez here, but for anybody else that may fall victim to the abuse of power that the police have decided that they felt comfortable abusing out there in the world.
No, with power comes great responsibility. The people know that, and the police should know that as well.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Sanchez, I notice you are on oxygen as well. Is that doctor prescribed? How are you feeling after these injuries?
Like I said, Mr. Alonso, the physical parts, I'm roughed up, that's for sure. It's not been fun. However, the biggest part is, again, that mental anguish. I'm scared to go out. I'm scared to take my phone out in public, especially if there's a police officer or any member of law around, as I'm worried it's going to be a repeat situation of what happened last time. And I'm not sure if I will ever recover mentally from this.
No, I completely understand. Like I said, I cannot imagine what you're going through. Is there anything you would like the people to know? Anything that you want them to hear? You have a voice.
My biggest thing is, if you see something, guys, say something. I found myself in a situation where I was seeing a young man get, assaulted you know, and I did something, and ultimately it ended up badly for me. But if we just continue to shine light on the corruption that is in Sarasota, you know, then eventually it'll weed itself out, and cops will be more, or not just cops, but any member of law enforcement will be more careful to see how they treat their citizens, and maybe we can put an end to this epidemic in Sarasota.
Roger that, sir. I completely understand. Thank you so much for coming here and talking with Weasel News. I've been Vinny Alonso. This is our two guests, Mr. Tommy Sanchez and Jace Smith, the local lawyer. Make sure you guys contact him if you have any troubles. This has been Weasel Talk Show.